Cellular respiration and photosynthesis are two incredibly important processes that are vital in everyday life. The chemical equation for cellular respiration is C6H12O6 plus O2 yields ATP plus CO2 plus H2O, while the equation for photosynthesis is CO2 plus H2O plus light yields C6H12O6 plus O2. While all cells perform cellular respiration, only autotrophs are able to photosynthesize. Autotrophs include plants and some bacteria. The main job of cellular respiration is to break down glucose in order to create usable energy for the cells. The first step of cellular respiration is glycolysis, which occurs in the cytosol of the cell. During glycolysis, glucose is split into two molecules of pyruvate, releasing ATP and converting NAD+ into NADH. The next step in cellular respiration is the citric acid cycle, or the Krebs cycle. After glycolysis, the pyruvate molecules enter the matrix of the mitochondria with ATP molecules. The final step of cellular respiration is the electron transfer chain, or oxidative phosphorylation, which occurs along the inner mitochondrial membrane. During this process, high-energy electrons are released from NADH and FADH and travel along the ETC on the inner membrane of the mitochondria to be received by an oxygen molecule. This transport lures in hydrogen ions across the membrane into the matrix, increasing the H+ concentration. These H+ ions then pass through the enzyme ATP synthase, adding a phosphate ion to an ADP molecule to form ATP. On the other hand, the job of photosynthesis is to convert energy absorbed from the sun and turn it into food, glucose, for the cell. Plants absorb sunlight through the chloroplast of the cell, where the light reaction is initiated in the thylakoid membrane. The cell also undergoes the Calvin cycle, also known as the dark reaction, in the stroma of the chloroplast. This reaction takes in carbon dioxide and utilizes ATP and NADPH in order to create sugar.
Chemiosmotic phosphorylation is the process by which ATP is created and is part of both cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Chemi refers to the H+ ions that diffuse across the membrane. Osmosis refers to the diffusion of H+ ions down the concentration gradient through the ATP synthase protein. Phosphorylation refers to the adding of phosphate ion to ADP to create ATP. However, photosynthesis uses photophosphorylation, while cellular respiration uses oxidative phosphorylation. Photophosphorylation of photosynthesis is powered by sunlight, while in oxidative phosphorylation, NADH is oxidized and the electrons are delivered to the oxygen molecules. The H+ ion gradient is generated in similar fashions during both cellular respiration and photosynthesis. During both processes, high-energy electrons are released and travel along the ETC on the inner membrane of the mitochondria or thylakoid. This transport lures in hydrogen ions across the membrane into the matrix or lumen, increasing the H+ concentration. These H+ ions then pass through the enzyme ATP synthase, adding a phosphate ion to an ADP molecule to form ATP. The primary difference between the two electron transport chains is that in cellular respiration, protons are brought from the inner membrane space in the mitochondria into the matrix, while in photosynthesis, they move from the stroma to the lumen. In addition, the ETC in photosynthesis is driven by light energy, while in cellular respiration, it is driven by oxygen molecules receiving the charged electrons to create water. Likewise, in photosynthesis, water molecules donate electrons to form H+ ions and O2, the reverse of cellular respiration.